Hi everybody, it's Cindy with Sunshine Yoga, Pilates and More in Gilbert Town Square in Gilbert, Arizona. And we're going to do a short little yin class for you this afternoon. At any time, if any of these postures do not feel good in your body, meaning they feel painful, then you need to stop. And if it's just uncomfortable though, it's like, oh boy, this hold in this yin is kind of really stretching my nerves a little bit. Just allow that to release a little bit and just see if you can't dive down a little bit deeper into some of these postures. But if it's painful, stop. It might be where you just need to build yourself up a little bit with some bolsters or a pillow or something like that. So this class is not going to use any types of props, but you're more than welcome to use them if you need to. All right, so let's get right to it. Go ahead and lay on your back. We're going to stack your hips up right on top of each other. And both arms are going to be out towards the side. Inhale, and you're going to lift the left arm up, and then exhale and just reach. Follow the fingertips with your face, with your nose, and just allow that stretch to go. And you're going to notice as you get into this posture, your pectoralis muscle is really feeling a gigantic stretch. And sitting all day long by a computer, it should feel pretty good here in a minute as it begins to let go. If you're one of the lucky ones where your hands actually hit the ground, so on the left side, my left hand isn't quite there. But it will do it when I head over to the right side. So just acknowledge the fact that our bodies are different. Every side is different. And just feel that stretch as you inhale and exhale, releasing any tension. And the idea in yin is just to take your body into those positions where they're right on the edge. Just take it into that edge of being painful, uncomfortable, and just seeing if you can relax in a little bit deeper into that tissue. So it's a very gentle opening, and it's very meditative as well. Deep inhale here. Exhale, let it out. Inhale, lift the arm up, and exhale, just close that down for a second. We're going to roll over onto your opposite side. So either rolling right on over or sitting up and taking it over to your left hip, and the same thing. So make sure the hips are stacked right on top of each other. Shoulders are stacked up on top of each other. Inhale as you lift that right arm, and exhale and open and just fold over. And just allow that spinal twist to happen. And if you're like me, your right side may just touch the ground a whole lot easier than that left side did. But you're still going to feel a nice stretch through that pectoralis. Deep breath in and out. And just reaching those fingertips apart. And you can really tell the difference between one side versus the other. You know, it's amazing how much stress we hold from the right side to the left side. So, yin is just a process of acknowledging the fact that our bodies are different on either side. And deep breath in. Exhale, let it out. Inhale, lift that right arm and close it right back down again. And just bring yourself up to a seated position and just allow your hands to fall in towards your lap for a moment. And just feel the rush of blood that goes right back into the joints that were kind of restricted for a minute. So yin kind of acts like a garden hose. So when you get into these positions and you've got a garden hose with water, and if you pinch it in your yard, it stops the water from going through. It's the same thing in yin. It just like stops for a little bit, and then when you get that release, it's the rebound or the recoil just gets into every place and just allows that warmth and that nourishment to get back in to where it needs to go. And just a real quick stretch here for the chest. So bring those knuckles together in front and then reach them far behind you as far as you can. Deep breath in. Exhale, let it out. And hands come back down in towards your lap. So the next little segment we're going to go into is with lizard. So lizard can be kind of intense. I do encourage you to take it to that point where you can comfortably and uncomfortable get into, but it shouldn't be painful. All right, so bring yourself up to all fours. And we're going to start with the left foot as we bring that up in front. So you're just going to try and bring that foot right up to where your hands are. And then you're going to slide that right leg back and dip down into it. So it's almost like a really super long runner stretch. So as you're in lizard, the left foot or the foot out in front can be out, you can be in splits, you could be out to the side. So you want to find that spot where it's that sweet spot, kind of where you can allow those hips just to sink into for a moment. And you may feel this more through the hip in the left, or you might feel it down into that right psoas muscle in the back, those hip flexors. Once you find your spot, you can bring yourself all the way down to your elbows if you can. Hang out here for a little bit. And this is where that uncomfortableness might start to sink in just a little bit. So just breathe. Allow the exhale to take away any grippiness that you might be feeling. And once that hip starts to let go, you can even bring yourself down further. And my left hip is so much happier than my right hip. And I can take that all the way down to the ground. But you're just kind of exploring space with that hip, wherever that might be. And if this is not your cup of tea, bring yourself back up higher onto your elbows. Or if you have a block or some pillows you can put underneath. I will go through a modification of this on another video, but for now, let's just give this a try and see if we can hang out here for a few more breaths. Try not to hold your breath, but just concentrate on that exhalation and letting go. Deep breath in. Exhale, let it go. And then as you come out of this, depending on where you are, if you're down on the ground, you can just roll over to your right hip and just allow that left leg to come out. If you're up on your elbows, you might want to try rolling over with use of your hands. So as you roll over to the side, just allow that leg to fall back, and then just bring your head down onto your hands and hang out here for a moment for the recoil. And just notice any sensations that you're feeling in both hips right now. So we're going to take it back to a child's pose. Just curl back through the back, round it back there, and bring yourself back up to all fours. So we always have the good news and bad news, right? So the good news is we're halfway done, and the bad news is we're halfway done. So the right leg hopefully is feeling a little jealous. We're going to bring that right foot up in front, bring it up there as close as you can to both of those hands, and just kind of hang out here as that left leg stretches to the back just a little bit. So my right hip is not quite as happy with me as my left hip is. So I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to take this all the way down or not, but that's okay. You take yourself to where you are that day. Every day is different, and that is perfectly fine. So as we bring ourselves down, as low as you can go, I think I can hit this. Yeah, I'm pretty comfortable with that. Nice and easy. But the beauty of yin comes in the quiet. It comes in that space in between the breath. And as it releases, you can try to take it down a little bit lower. I'm not going to get much further than this, I don't think. And please remember there's a difference between something being painful and something being uncomfortable. We don't want you to be in pain, but you can handle a little discomfort. That's not so bad. Take your breath to wherever you're feeling those sticky points, and allow the exhale just to release and let go. Deep breath in. Exhale, let it go. And then we'll slowly come out of this side. So as you roll over onto that left hip, just allow that right leg to slide back behind you. And bring the forehead down onto the backs of your hands. And just rock the hip side to side for a moment. Settle into someplace in the middle and relax. Bring those hands back into the front of the chest. Roll yourself back into that child's pose. One more time. Reach the fingertips out in front. Forehead comes down to the ground. And then bring yourself to a seated position. So that was just a little bit of a hip opening. Lizard is a little bit intense, like I said, but it does feel good once everything releases. So I hope you enjoyed it. Thanks for joining me, and I will see you soon. I will pop up another video with some modifications to that lizard stretch and do a little tutorial on how to do a pigeon as well. Have a great day, morning, evening, wherever you are in the world. I'll see you soon.